saying? Because I'm about to do something. Look at that. That's man, you have no idea. You just made my day today, dog. You just made my day right now. And it's funny how it's happening around us, asking about the testimony around this time, because people can say what they want to say, but all praises to my daddy. For real, man. All right, hold on, they coming in. This is beautiful. Man,
Oh man, did I miss the intro?
not yet. I'm gonna put it on you right here
I
at the
gotta say I
beginning.
missed the best part.
You right here at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, we live right now. Um, y'all know what time it is, right? You know, and we got some goodies. And this is what I want to bring out right now because I have never seen this before ever. If you look on your timeline, you're gonna see the seventh day for America. Today is September 7th, and we happen to have a Sabbath on their seventh. When have we ever seen that happen? That's powerful. That is powerful. Today is the Sabbath, and then on America's timeline, it's literally the seventh day. Did y'all notice that? I just thought that was just smooth how it's the Sabbath, and then it's the seventh day for America. But we got some exciting news. Um, I'm gonna let him talk because, like, dang it, I gotta hear it myself. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just too good. Um, we got a little information from Charles. He done sent a lot of stuff. He sent me a lot of stuff. Some of y'all sent me a lot of stuff too. Um, I'm almost done with the writing of Simone Kibongo. I'm almost done with it. I just gotta just maybe like it's the beginning portion, but everything has been pretty much translated. You know what I'm saying with the words legible. You know what I'm saying legible words. But there is a whole nother prophecy that this man is saying that is not is condensed in the video. So it's a lot more that's being said, so that's gonna play, I think, at the end. I'm gonna either make it at the end, like put it this the regular video, you know what I'm saying, and the words more legible. But then towards the end, put like this is what the prophecy really said, like not the summary, but this is what he was saying that was not transcribed in the video. All right. Welcome to Truth Colors. You want to introduce yourself, or should I introduce you?
I ain't new. Oh well, yeah. Go ahead. You go ahead and introduce me.
All right. Well, y'all know who this
This
is.
ain't my first time.
This is Joshua Lewis, right? His family,
Oh
right?
yeah.
This is one that Uncle Kenny brought in. Look at this. So like and he stayed. So it's like that's a good plant right there. It's a good planting of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So Uncle Kenny brought him along. This is one who Uncle Kenny was actually mentoring at his job, semi. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna go ahead and get the intro started, whatnot. We're gonna talk a little bit more about, Josh, because you want to know about this man right here. There's some good things going on in this man's life. So welcome to Truth Colors. You know who I am. Let's go ahead and get it started with our salutes. Salute to everyone watching by Yazarala Facebook page. Salute to everyone watching by not Truth Colors, but what is the other one? Left Chef to Helium REA Facebook page. Salute to everyone watching by Yasha Yahoo Facebook page. Salute to everyone watching by I Am King David YouTube channel. Salute to everyone watching by King David YouTube channel. Salute to everyone watching by We Are Bantu Periscope TV or Bantu Yisolele Twitter account. Salute to Goshen. Salute to Joshua Lewis. Salute to Micah and Michaela, Daddy loves you. May the will of our Yah be done on this earth as it is in the Shamayim or the heavens. This is another session of Truth Colors. And my name is King David. And like I said before, that is Joshua Lewis. And we're about to hit the intro, get you something to drink. You know what I'm saying? A little sippy sippy. You know, go and take the ease off. Just take the edge off a little bit. Drink, but don't get drunk. You understand? All right, let's get it popping. See, we can't be getting drunk on this mug. Can't do that. Can't do it. 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 I love this part right here. There we go. Oops, I didn't turn my video off either. There we go.
Other Psalms.
Revelations.
I gotta get
And
married
the
soon.
third angel saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark into his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Satan cast into the lake of fire. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. The great white throne. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Elohim, and the books were open, and another book was open, which was in the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works, in death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. But I will tell you what will happen to cowards and to everyone who is unfaithful or dirty-minded, or who murders, or is sexually immoral, or uses witchcraft, or worships idols, or tell lies. They will be thrown into that lake of fire and burning sulfur. This is the second death.
Your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers.
Beats
Your
by
haters, not your haters,
Other Psalms.
they're your fruit testers. Hey,
Yahuwah says we
your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers.
multitude like
Your
the
haters, not your haters,
stars.
they're your fruit.
Beats by other songs.
Truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors. Ayy, when you learn the truth, it will set you free. Many are held captive, stolen identity. But let me just shoot the breeze, release you from Satan's squeeze. He's all like enemies, no matter the color you see. That truth flame.
By other songs.
Truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, yeah, yeah, truth colors. Yeah, yeah. Yes. All right. Let me see here. Um, Kusabi, Goshen, Kusabi to everyone tonight. We pretty much I'm gonna let him speak. You know what I'm saying? This is our special guest here. He's gonna talk about our encounter. An encounter pretty much with I'm just gotta say what it is, the set apart spirit, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, this goes to show you what Father's looking for. It's powerful because we've always seen in the church, you know, people dressed in a clergy clothes, you know, doing some things, you know what I'm saying? Uh, on this day, I mean, was just pretty much dressed in our clothes, you know what I'm saying? Wearing either dashiki or Goshen black or whatever, but just this was it's a beautiful time, right? So Josh, go on and tell them how you heard, you know what I'm saying, about me or what brought you near, you know what I'm saying? How did you hear about Truth Colors?
Well, I first heard about Truth Colors through Kenny, OB, as I call him. Everybody else call him Uncle Kenny.
Yeah, family right there, baby.
OB was kind of like my mentor for a little minute before he took off.
All right.
About 2 years.
That's nice.
Somewhat. And he used to be like, and it's a lot you need to know. He always used to be like, it's a rabbit hole. I was be like, rabbit hole? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I knew my little bit. I mean, you know what I'm saying, for what I was raised on. But little did I know that little bit it was wrong as heck. I mean, it gave you somewhat, you know what I'm saying? You know,
the bare minimum.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was used, but you know, you got to grow out of it. It's time to leave that and venture into something new. You know what I'm saying? You got to leave that old alone. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Got to leave the old alone.
So it was kind of like that. Yeah. So it was like, this was around like September, September and October too, when he started talking to me about it. Then when I really started taking it serious, like I used to be like, I come to work and I'd be like, hey, look, I got some questions for you. And he was like, I tell you this stuff, man, you responsible for it. I was like, all right, I think I can handle it. I got it. I mean, just keep feeding it to me. He'll be sending me posts and stuff. Then he was like, all right, you know what? I think
Uh-oh. All right. So his net kind of cut off. Let me tell him. This is a beautiful story right here. Look at this, right? There you go. He coming right back. That's what I'm talking about. You know the enemy fighting right now, boy, because like once this get out, how they be saying bread. Like, I mean, like, look at this. This has never happened where it just cut you off and took you offline. Like, this is supposed to be said right now. So, because once been said today, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, Coin, continue on with your testimony. We just gonna shame the devil and keep on moving. He pissed. Go ahead. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
all right,
Now let's go.
here we go. So OB was like, but Kenny was like, all right, I think you understand. All right, so I'm gonna tell you about this guy I know. I like this guy. He was like, yeah. Like, you think, well, I'm giving you, son. Like, I'm gonna send you one of his videos and I want you to watch it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. So when I got out of work, it took him a long time. I'm like, man, what's up with this guy? He sent this video. So I hit him out like, hey man, send me that video. Send it to me. So I went in the car. I went in my car and watched it. I went in my car. You know what I'm saying? I cut it on. And I was like, hold up. This thing say 4 hours. Maybe it's 4 minutes. Maybe it's just messed up. I don't know. I was like, man, ain't no way in the world I don't watch no 4-hour video, bro. So I said, all right, I'm just gonna play it. I played it, you know what I'm saying? And then like the stuff you started to talk about was way different from anything I ever heard anybody else speak. I was like, this guy different. Like ain't nothing he's saying hard to understand. Everything is simple. Like, and he's showing you what's wrong. Well, what they say is right. That you've been thinking for so long that's right and it's actually wrong.
Oh, praise it.
Like you've been going to church for so long and you ain't even know, like you say, you didn't even know the Father was taking you out of the church, fighting to get you. That little voice in your head saying, I don't feel like going to church today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was really the Father telling you, don't go to church.
Oh, yeah, you remember that, huh?
Pretty much like that.
You
like,
remember that.
Yeah. Like, man, I ain't never really heard it like that. But it make a lot of sense once you start to really learn and understand. You know what I'm saying? But so I got sick throughout the year. What year that was?
Hold on. Continue on.
Down 20, right? So that was like 2020. Mm.
Go ahead.
Okay, I went back out.
Okay, okay. So that played out good. All right. So go ahead again on
All
what you
right,
were
here we
saying
go.
right then and there.
Yeah, I got last year,
Okay.
2020.
Okay. So 2020.
So basically, they were trying to say I had Crohn's disease.
Mm,
I knew something was going on with me because I went from like 175, 180, 180 to like 135
wow.
in a month and a half span. So when I had went to the doctor, they was planning on doing a little procedure on me. It was like the earliest we can get to you is like October, October 1st, October 3rd. So around that time, we were planning on coming over there to see you in Arizona. So I was like, nah, I can't do it that week. Nah, I definitely can't do it that week. Y'all booked me like October 15th or something.
Yeah,
So
because Uncle
that's when
Kenny
they
told
booked
me.
me.
Uncle Kenny told me, he said, I don't know if Josh gonna really make it because he at first he's like he's excited. I come to his first, what I'm saying, Passover ever, whatnot. And I was like, yeah, man, bring him. And then like Uncle Kenny's like, saying, it's something you need to know about Josh. I was like, what? He's like, well, Josh don't be feeling too well all the time. I was like, okay. He's like, so he may not. He said something he's dealing with. He didn't say what it was. He just said what he's dealing with. He said that sometimes to make him feel fatigue or something like that. And I was like, and he was like, he don't know if he had to go to the doctor or not. He said he might reschedule it or something. Then he said, it's just be me, saying, just, saying, minus Josh right now, saying, he don't know what he's gonna do yet, but I'm still coming. And I was like, okay, cool. And at the last minute, what I'm saying, he was like, well, with the doctor, when I was like, well, actually tell him to come because that's what the whole thing is all about. You know what I'm saying? For us, I mean, the best place for him to be will be here, not staying there because of whatever he feel like he's dealing with. Tell him to come. He was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to him. And then he's like, oh, good news. He's like, Josh is coming. I was like, yes. Okay. So Josh is coming. All right, it's like good. All right. So like I'm glad that he won't miss out on this. Like this is the best place to come. Like come by faith. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And so continue on.
Yeah. So let's get to got your part where it was like the day before we were about to leave. OB kept asking me, like, you sure you coming?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm coming. I ain't to him, but I was sick as a dog while I was texting. I was sick as a dog.
Listen what
I
he's
was
saying,
like,
y'all. Listen, this is all praises. He was sick as a dog. So if y'all can't hear, if he want to mess up, if they want the enemy try to mess up his audio on the other side, my audio ain't messed up. So whatever it sounds like, Mad Max or sound like Max off of the 80s commercial, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, I'ma speak what he says that gets jumbled up. Go ahead.
it was like the day I was staring at my girl. I was like, I stayed in the bed the whole day. I had to get.
Hold
OB
on.
was telling me to get from Walmart.
Hold on. Your thing is messing up again. He said that he was at his girl's house and he stayed in the bed the whole day. He didn't move. He just stayed in the bed all day. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know what told Uncle Kenny, but he was like, I don't know. Son just told me to go home and get the and I had to get you.
All right. You came down again. He said he talked to Uncle Kenny and he said something inside of him and told him just to go. And at that moment it didn't finish out the rest of the sentence. It was like, yeah, that's what it did. So the party said something told you to go, right? That's what you saying? Something told you to go?
Uncle Kenny, son told Uncle Kenny. Uncle Kenny said something told him to go to Walmart and just get the rest of the stuff that I needed. Like I needed tags for my bags, like everything else that he was telling me. I was like, man, some of this stuff I ain't even gonna have because I can't even get out of bed right now. So he was still texting me all through the night. He was like, you gonna make it? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be waiting for it. I'll be right here. I'm gonna have all my bags packed. And he was like, all right. So we get there. Well, he get here in the morning. You know, he picked me up. We go to the airport. I ain't saying that to him, but I ain't feeling good. But I knew I was getting on that plane. So
wow,
and
that's
then,
faith.
like I said, I had already lost so much weight. Like I was skinny. Like I was skinny for real. Like my butt bone was like just sitting on the plane, just sitting on the seat was hurting me, yo. Like
Wow. Real. I hope y'all hearing this, man. All praises. Keep going. This is powerful, man. I'm about ready to run up out this chair. Keep going.
Yeah, so like we had like 3 flights to take to get there, yo. Only one of them was comfortable for me.
Wow. Hopefully that was the last one.
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't the last one. The long.
I was gonna say, I hope it was the last one.
Long one, yo. That was the 3 hour.
Ooh.
That was the 3 hour one.
Ooh.
Boy.
Ooh.
So you know how I can imagine. So you can only imagine how I felt being able to finally get off that plane. But when we got there, you know what I'm saying? When we got to Arizona, I mean, I was sick, but I was feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was like I was down, but I was still happy. Like it was still a good time the whole time.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? We finally get there. We finally meet you. You know how I go. We go break some bread.
Let's go eat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We go from there.
Go ahead. You kind of broke out, right? Broke up again.
You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead now. Go ahead and say.
Yeah, so we got there what? Like the 30th? The day before?
Yeah, the day before, something like that, before everything started kicking off, gave people enough time. I came in on the Sabbath. So it was like, we was like, yo, who are you? You know what I'm saying? So we was all,
that's
you
right.
know what I'm saying, kicking it in. We started dancing and everything like that. People was having fun, you know what I'm saying? We was having fun.
Yeah, we had
doing the dance. Yeah, it was live. So it was fun, like, you know. Then hearing Uncle Kenny give his testimony, your testimony and whatnot as I was coming in. Y'all seen your rainbow. They came on the plane and just hovered all the way straight through, bringing y'all into Phoenix. Y'all was like, man, I ain't never seen like this in my life. You know what I'm saying? The moon would look different than y'all moon over there. So y'all was like, this is different. Like, this is truly where the king is at. Like, everything is different over here. The moon look different. The sun look different. We got a whole rainbow just over the whole plane guiding us in. He was like, he watched it all the way straight through. Like, he was looking like, is this for real? A whole rainbow? Want to play like, oh, this is where the Father is for real. Okay. You know, because most people don't understand like that that rainbow signifies like his throne. You know, if you look in the scriptures in Revelations 3 and whatnot, it talks about how the one who sat on the throne, like it was like a rainbow, but of an emerald. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a lot to that. So those are some different testimonies people was having when y'all first came in. So I enjoy that. Continue on, please.
Oh yeah. By the way, I see it's a lot of new faces out there. So, you know what I'm saying? And that hey, that Passover, yo, it was a lot going on, yo.
Oh man.
But like it was so much going on between the people, yo. It ain't made no sense, yo. I was just sitting in the back. I was just watching, but I was watching you though. I was like, yo, this guy too patient, man. This a patient guy, yo. You real different, yo. I don't understand. I'm like, man, like people really be taking shots and he still be calm. I was like, oh man, these people is wild. I'm gonna keep my spot, but I'm gonna keep my spot in the back. But anyway, back to the story. So like you said, we did a live and stuff. You know, I told my half about how I became and how I got to know the king right here.
Salute.
King music. So let's go a couple days further. A couple days. Cause we stay. How long we stay? A week.
And y'all stay for like it's about almost like 2 weeks almost, but like
almost 2 weeks.
Almost like 2 weeks. Like almost 2, because y'all extended y'all stay a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm extended, and then like y'all extended again. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah. So it was like roughly like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So all right, like I said, maybe like the first four days, I was sick. Like I was sick for real. But I might not show it, but I was sick as a dog. I couldn't wait to get in the bed. I couldn't wait to get in the bed. But sometimes OB will catch me. He'll see me. I'll be like, dang. He'll like, you ain't feeling too good, is you? Like, I can see it on your face right now. I'll be trying to straighten up before he see me, but he'll catch me sometimes. So it was like 5 days. I probably went, like I was sick. It wasn't saying nothing, but I was still rolling. A good 3-4 days, something like that. But you know what I'm saying?
I remember one of those activities you didn't do.
Remember Dave.
One of the activities you didn't do.
I'm about to get to that. I'm about to get to that right now.
Go ahead.
I'm about to get to that. So the activity you talk about, we had went to, I can't remember the name of that mountain we went to, but the pavilion, the prayer pavilion.
Yeah.
So that's one of them days. It's one of them days. Who was it? You, OB, and Carla, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, we about to go to the mountain. And it was like, I know you feeling bad, but we coming back later on this week. So you're gonna be good by then. So y'all went up there. I think y'all was doing a little live too. I was watching it in the car while y'all was on the mountain. So after that, you know, maybe it might have been 2 or 3 days we had came back.
Yep.
But before we came back, within that time span, it's been so long, I can't remember how much time span with. You had laid hands on me and started praying for me, and you started telling me stuff that I was doing. It was like, you do this sometimes, don't you? I was like, dang, yeah. And then he was like, well, I'm telling you stuff you need to stop. And you know what I'm saying? You lay hands on my stomach and stuff while I was hurting. And you started praying. And it was like, after well, that wasn't the only time you I don't know how many times you prayed for me that time. It might have been like 3.
Yeah, because like
2 other times.
I prayed in a language too. I didn't pray in English. It was like I prayed in, I think I prayed in our language. And then from there, I prayed some in the English as well. Yeah, I remember that. I think that was on Passover. I think it was like either around Passover or something.
Yeah, it been a year. It was around this.
Yeah, I believe it was. I think that was the Passover. Like we had literally, this was Passover, and we was like literally, we've had a meeting or something. I think it was like I think it was the Sabbath or something. I don't know if it was the Sabbath.
You got the video.
I think yeah. This might have been a solemn assembly. I'm not sure, but it was one. I think it might have been Passover, kicking it off.
I remember we was dressing in, I think, daishikis or something like that. And I remember Father was like, I heard Father was like, pray for him. And I'm like, we doing this right now? Like, yes, pray for him. And I was like, all right, cool. It was like, and I felt everything over me. I was like, come here. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, I was like, Josh. I remember I called your name. And he was like, huh? We was like, come on. I was
I was
like,
spinning around in the chair.
yeah. And came over and I was like, come here. And came over, I was like, what? I was like, we about to pray for you right now. So like I prayed for you. After I prayed for you, I remember at the end, I was like, all your sins is forgiven. Like
Yeah, I was
all
about to
your
say
sins
that
is
too.
forgiven. Go ahead. Cause it's like this is crazy. Like,
Uh, yeah, you had said all my sins were forgiven. The Father tell me all my sins were forgiven. I was like, I was like, wow. I was like, okay. So like a fresh start, right? Like it's a fresh start for me.
clean
So
slate.
yeah. And then you even prayed for OB too.
Oh yeah.
OB
Yep.
star, yeah. You remember
Yeah, I remember
OB
that. I
star,
remember
his
that.
guitar's chain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
I
I
was like,
remember
oh,
that.
he sound different. Sound different. The way you ain't never heard this one. Yeah. So I'm gonna say probably like the next day. That next day we went back to the prayer pavilion. That might have been the last. No, that day we went back. That was the last day because that was the ending of right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
The solemn
So
assembly.
the
Yep.
last day we went back there. Yeah, and that's when we went up the mountain. Nah, cause look, I forgot this part. Matter of fact, after you had prayed for me, I had them pills and stuff, and I had left them all in your room. I had left them up there for a couple of days. Remember, I had left my pills up in his room for a
He
couple
said
of
he didn't
days.
need them. I
But
was like, go ahead. This is powerful.
yeah, he was like, "Hey, don't forget your pills." I was like, "Man, I ain't even need no things, man, but I come get them though." But anyway, back to the prayer pavilion. So, like, before we ended it, we went up the mountain, right? It's like, you going on the mountain with me this time? I was like, yeah, I'm ready this time.
Do what you
I'm
can
ready
do.
this time. You know what I'm saying? I won't in no pain, but
You
my stamina, I ain't had all my stamina back, but I was still going. So here we go. So he going up the mountain. He jetting up the mountain. The king, he jetting up the mountain. Like I'm an athlete myself. I ain't nothing but 29. I was 20. What is it? I was 28 then. So he getting up the mountain. I'm like, man, this guy getting it. I'm like, oh, my stamina ain't like it's supposed to be, but I'll be right there with him. But like it's like he won't even breaking a sweat. Like he would haul his tail of that mountain. I was like, I'm on his tail, but I'm a little slow. Hey, look, he recorded it, but if you go looking at it, it ain't the same as going up that mud, boy. I'm telling you.
No.
It was not the same. That incline is serious.
Yeah. I used to do it a lot though. I used to do it a lot because like I would have to go to that mountain and to go up there, I would just go up there and like pray. Or it'll be like I'll be up there doing something. I remember at one point in time, Father had me up there just like yelling out. Like he was talking about a change. And this was like in 2008 when I first got there, because when I first came there, I was sent right there to that prayer pavilion right there. So it'll be certain times where people have me be like, go pray for someone. He'll say someone's up in there, like a couple was up there. I get off of work. He be like, a couple was in there. I want you to go pray for him. And I'm like, huh? It's like a couple was in there, go pray for him. So I'm rushing from the bus stop and I get into the place whatnot, and here they are, like it's a husband and wife. And I'm like, they're bound to. And it's during the time of like the Great Depression, pretty much from 2008, when people could not find work. I mean, you started seeing people with degrees go to work at McDonald's, saying Wendy's, saying we ain't too proud or big, saying anyone was getting a fast food job at this time. And so there was a job over in Texas where I think it was like an opening for one person, and I didn't know nothing like this. So mind you, I'm like, this is 2008, so I'm like 30 something. These people like old enough. I ain't gonna say be my parents, but they like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to show you the correlation of the correlation of their ages to where what's about to come out of me. So I'm up here speaking to them, you know what I'm saying, um, telling them, all right. But I was like, go pray for them. And I was like, okay. So with all that going on, I'm like, I said, sir, I was like, so you mind if I pray with you? He was like, he's like, no, he's like, I think your camera is frozen. Can you hear me? But yeah, there it is. It's good now.
Yeah, I heard.
All right, so it's like, um, I was like, look, I said, do you need me to pray for you? I said, y'all need some help. The man was like, nah, we good. I was like, Father, they said they're good. He was like, go ask him again and tell him I sent you. I was like, um, the Father kind of sent me over here to help y'all with prayer, to pray with y'all. And it was like, oh, you want her too? I was like, yes, get your wife over here. She was like, it's okay, baby. Come on over here. Like the Father sent him over to pray with us. So then as you know, I started praying. It's like literally like I'm sitting right here thinking about to say some words. It's like when everything is going and everything is done got to going, Father done move me out the way and took over in the seat. And then you know, like a whole voice done come up out of me, and I'm yelling at both of them, yelling at them, and all I keep saying like, "Yes, Lord." That's all I'm hearing. You know, you're right. I'm saying things about their secret life and everything. Everything that's coming out. I'm like y'all don't trust them, y'all don't believe me, blah blah blah. Didn't I say I was gonna take care of you? That I'm just hearing all, and he is reprimanding both of them. And then I heard him and says, get to this place. He says, I'm gonna give you a job. All I heard was, I am going to take care of you. I am going to provide you a job. Now I did not know. Uh-oh, he left. He coming back. All right, so
Man, go ahead, man.
hold on. Is there something wrong with my camera? Hold on. All right. So after it was all said and done, they begin to start praising the Father, worshiping him, honoring him. They knew it was the Father. Like they heard the Father's voice come up out of me to where they was literally up there just worshiping the Father. There you go again. All right, you there? You back again, bro? All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
All right, audio works good. Audio working good right now. I don't see the picture, but audio's working good. I think it might hold more stable. I'm not sure. But so here they are worshiping the Father. They're praising him, thanking him, honoring him, and everything. Um, the lady, she was like, she was getting ready to leave. You know, I need help like coming up with rent for what I needed. So for my room when I need help, it's coming up right now. Father says he's gonna take care of me, whatever. And as I'm getting ready to leave, she was like, no. She's like, she said the Father told her, said, you're supposed to always pay the prophet. You're supposed to always take care of the prophet. She said, and the Father told her that you're a true prophet. So we're supposed to give you something for that. We can't just let you go empty handed. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they took me back to my place, whatnot. I left, whatever was cool. This man, I didn't know that he was supposed to be going to Houston, Texas to try to get a job. So once he finally got his job, they came back to tell the testimony, but I wasn't there. I was at work. So when I came home, my roommate was there, was like, hey, He said, a couple came by and said you prayed for them. I was like, yeah. And I was like, a couple? I was like, couple. It was like, yeah. They said that you had just prayed for them about a week ago or something like that. She said, well, anyway, she said her husband went down to Texas. That they took majority of what they had and put him on a flight to go there, to see if he can get a job. He said, this is the good story. He's like, all praises to the Father for this. I was like, what? He said, he's standing in a long line with other people who are qualified just as much as he is. Like out of like maybe 100 applicants or more. And he goes in, he said they only have one position. One position. He says, and he came back to let you know that the wife came back to let you know that he was the one that they picked to get the job. Man, I had tears coming out my eyes. I was like, what? I was so happy for them. So thanking Father for them. I was like, wow, Father, you used me. That's powerful, Father. Wow. They were on their last. And you gave them what they needed. Now they could have been still like belligerent and be like, no, we don't need you to pray for us. And would have missed out. Why? Because number one, I didn't come in a suit. I didn't even come like this. My hair was not locked. My hair could be in braids or be a big old fro. So, number one, I didn't look the so-called part of a prophet. And I did that purposely to test people's hearts. I wore my hair out wild like that in a fro purposely to see your heart. Literally, to see your heart. So I'm gonna ask them, hey, you want to be prayed for? They're probably looking at a person with braids or a fro, like, nah, we good. And they could have stayed with that and missed out. There's so many times I went out a certain way purposely just to see men's hearts. What's really in you. And so there is. So when they got past that test, they was good. Once, they seen the look, but then once they heard the voice, that's what changed things. They looked at me, was like, oh no, we good. Not even second glance, like, okay, we good. And then if I was like, tell him again that I sent you. And when I said like he sent me, it was like, oh, okay, well, baby, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Go look over there. Father sent him, you know what I'm saying? With his fro and everything and his braids. Go on. Father. Father sent him. Up here looking like a thug. Father sent this stuff. Father. I love looking at distinguished people who think they're so distinguished, like, and want to pass judgment when they see your hair, like, that's to wear my hair like that, because I knew it offended people sometimes. Because Arizona was a place where they could fire you for having braids. Arizona is a right to work state. That means we don't have to hire you for any reason. And gotta tell you, we ain't even gotta tell you the reason why we don't want you no more. As soon as you get braids, hair's good. As soon as you get braids, we can just fire you for getting braids. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't be like, oh, it's prejudice. Nope. It's a right to work state. Other places, oh, you have to work. In Arizona, like, oh, it's a right. It's one of your rights to work. But we have the right to deny you
employment due to your hair. What about your nails? What about we just don't like it that you know, had a booger just fly out your nose? It's like we don't like that, so we just going to fire you right now today. That's what a right to work stake is. You can just come in and wear the wrong color that I hate. I'm like, you wore blue today. I just hate that color. Today is your last day because you wore blue. They can say anything, you know. I don't like the way he drunk out the milk cart, you know what I'm saying? That's his own milk cart, but I just don't like that. I'm just trying to give you examples while we can fire you. It's for any this person on our parallel park in his own car. We just don't want to hire them. Has nothing to do with the job, but for any reason, we can just fire you. Yeah. So that's how it is in Arizona. That's what a right to work state is. It's a right to work. But
I believe it.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah, best believe.
because I worked at a certain place when I was a teenager. I got fired because I ain't speak to authority when I walked in the door.
Wow. So these people needed help. They didn't need to find someone who was trying to be something. They needed someone who has already tested this out. So there's a lot of people, oh, my prayers work. People say that, oh, my prayers work, this is this. How do you know? Have you put it to the test? Have you laid hands on the sick before? Have you just been one of the people who just reading the word, but not testing it out? When I was young, I would tell Father, I want my own. I want to do what this book say. I don't want to just be reading this book like it's a good lesson. Oh, no. How do you become a witness if you never put into action what you read? You're just a hearer only. There's no power in you, so you deny the power thereof, and you fooling yourself. That's probably, I don't care if it's in Christianity, Islam, whatever it is. If you ain't putting into practice what you are talking about, you are a hypocrite and therefore not able to preach your Quran, preach this Bible, preach whatever it is. And that's just real talk. Whatever religion most people are in. That's why witches, I'm just be real, they have more power at times than Christianity, than Christians. Because the witches believe. As bad as it is, but they believe. And they put into practice what it is they believe. Christians are weak as hell. Weak. I've seen some weak Christians. Most Christians are babies. They whine and cry about everything. I remember I went to the Father whining and crying because I thought it was the thing you're supposed to do. Father, this is going on, and Father, this happened, and no. And Father was like, hold up. Did you just tell me to hold up? I thought you said, bring my supplications to you. But the way we was doing it was wrong. Father was like, don't come to me like begging. He said, like, son, what you want to happen? What you mean what I want to have? I'm looking for this in scripture. Like, is this at what scripture are you in? You know what I'm saying? Because I heard make your supplications known. But this is actually tying in to my position without me even knowing it. He's like, what do you want to happen? I said, I want this to happen. I want this to happen. I want this to happen. He said, then that's what you declare. What again? Declare what you want to happen in this situation. Well, I want this to happen. I declare this. I declare that. I declare this. I declare that. So it went from mode of, even when I pray now, I speak in the mode of declaring. It's used to be like, when you pray, you actually talk. When you pray, you declaring some stuff. When you talk like this gonna be, I was like, that's always been. That's how Father told me to come. So that's how I pray. But now I see what it is. Literally, there's a scripture that says, it tells the king to ask for the nations, and I'll give them to you as your inheritance, up until the utmost ends of the earth. So it's like the whole entire time, look at this. Father said in the word, he says, I will raise unto David a righteous seed. He said, I will raise unto David a righteous seed. Righteous seed, what's raising me up? He's showing me how to decree. Some people try to decree, but unless the Father is backing you, you can't decree nothing. So at the moment I'm coming to the Father the way that everyone else comes to him, Father stops me like, hold up. What you doing? Well, I'm wearing the same clothes as everyone else. Those are not your clothes. Your clothes is this. What do you want to happen? I want this to happen. Say those words. And I begin to put my faith to things. I begin to test things out. The Father was the one who was drawing me near to him to show me how these things go, the power of creation. So I'm like, Father, I need a bike. I have a bike by tomorrow, or I can't go to work. Father was like, I'm up here praying. And then I seen Father told me, he said, get up and go to the end of the corner, and the person will give you a bike. Excuse me? Go down. And he showed me the straight corner I'm supposed to go to. Go there, and someone's going to bring you a bike. You'll just pay for it. His screen is going black and blue. It's just, here we go. We back on again. All right. Now watch this. So I literally get up after praying, and I saw the bike while I'm praying. I saw the bike coming to me. I was like, okay. So I put it to the test. So I went outside in the middle of, I know where I'm at on my street, but I'm a little ways down. And I went to the street corner of where I saw it was supposed to be at. And literally, I didn't see no one. I looked down, so much like Elijah when they said, like, ask the king. He's like, hey, do you see any rain? He said, do you see a hand? And he was like, nah, I don't see nothing. And he asked the servant again. He's like, go back and see again. What do you see? He's like, oh, yeah, I see a hand. And then it's when it started to rain. It's the same thing when I first looked down. I didn't see nothing. I was like, man, I feel like a fool. But I didn't say that out of my mouth. I'm just thinking, like, putting everything to the test. I know I heard a voice say, come down here. Man, I look up again. Someone like, look up again. I went down and looked again. I'm gonna wait till he come back on. I looked up again, or looked down the street again, and here comes a person riding a bike, and they're coming my way. I'm like, are you serious? This thing is real. Wow. And he got off the bike. He's like, you need a bike? I was like, yeah. He's like, here, $20. And that's literally how much I bought, was exactly that amount of money. Like, it was $20. Gave it to him and left. And I went back home like, I got a bike for work tomorrow. Okay. All right. This thing is real. Okay. So as we up here, so I begin to just put things to the test, right? So do you mind telling people what it is you was battling? Your mic is on mute.
I blacked out.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Can you hear me? I think your microphone's a little bit. I want you to tell the people what you were battling. And what, like, how are you feeling now?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it was Crohn's disease. They say I had Crohn's disease.
Wow.
So inflammatory inflamed intestine.
So how you
So
feel now?
basically,
Uh-oh. Microphone again. It's on mute. When you come back on, it's always on mute. All right, go ahead.
good. Right now, I feel good as I feel. For
Wow.
real. Like I don't be in no more pain. It don't bother me. I don't tire out. Like I feel I'm back to the old me now. I can dunk again.
All praises, man. This
Nah,
you
but
don't
I ain't been
understand.
playing. No, real. I ain't been playing no basketball. I'm just joking. I still
I'm just
could
saying.
though. I'm
No,
back
I'm
to
just
it.
this is all praises right there. Like, so when's the last time you had your medication? You look straight like
I
medication. What
was
you talking about?
I was supposed to be on a Humira shot. You know, that's the one you stab yourself with.
Oh wow. I
I
can't stab
supposed to be on.
myself.
I'm supposed to take that every. I'm supposed to take that where 2 shots came a piece. So I'm supposed to take that. So like 2 shots is 1 shot. So
Oh wow.
it would be like 4 shots in a month. But I'm supposed to take it every month.
Wow.
But I ain't never take that crap.
Wow.
I've been feeling good ever since. And I was like, yo, what if I would have really started taking it? Like it would
Yeah.
have made me dependent on it. Then say like I ain't want to take it for 2 months. It probably would have made me sick as a dog because I won't own it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I ain't taking none of that stuff. Like I've been fine. Like
All praises,
it
bro.
ain't came back and bothered me. I ain't lost no weight. No
So you
weight
done
or
picked up some
nothing.
weight, huh?
Yeah, I done picked us away. I done bulked back up.
Yeah, yeah. All praises, man. I'm
Uh,
serious. Like all praises. So ever since you done got prayed for, pretty much around Passover, which was the last Passover that we had, and you came here
uh,
to keep the feast, you was delivered from some stuff. Some
right,
things in your body was healed, and also the Father forgave you of your sins, and you was able to press on, move on, which is all praises to the Father to show people how real this thing is. So this is not a game. The feasts are not a game. The Sabbath is not a game. And though we may not look like everyone else with our turbans and headdresses and, you know, we dress more like most likely in sackcloth, you know what I'm saying? Compared not dressing any kind of royal vestures and all that kind of stuff like that. But people over here, you know what I'm saying, getting healed from Crohn's disease. I mean, they'll have a shot, have something for Crohn's disease to take away some symptoms or to relieve some pain, but to be healed because the Father's is in the healing business. He's never stopped that. But like I said, I've given my story about my father who was in the hospital, pretty much dead. Like they done called the family up and everything. Like it's a wrap, you know. Um, I waited, you know, to take the slowest transportation because my mom was thinking about Lazarus. I'm like, Father, we can raise him back up from the dead. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about it. So my grandma's like, oh, we on our way to go see him. You want to ride? I was like, nah, I'm good. I took the slowest transport. I walked slow, took the slow bus, whatever. And then I finally got there and then I took my slow time on the medical part, getting to the hospital, just slow steps, slowly in there. Then I slowly appeared. And then when they looked at me, looked at me like, look at his son showing up late. You know what I'm saying? Like that, man. I looked down like, how y'all doing? You know. So it was wonderful. And the next, went into the room and seeing my mom and my brother up there. My brother was just shedding just long tears, just crying because
I was cool, you know what I'm saying? Because I done talked to him before many times. So my brother, he done did some things, so he feeling a little bit guilty, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I went in, seeing him crying, tears just
Mm.
falling everywhere, just bawling. And I'm like, Mom, you know what I'm saying? You mind if I get a couple minutes with Dad by myself? And they all like they just waiting for him just to like at any minute, because you know what I'm saying, whatever. So I was like, all right, look, I just need a moment to talk to him. And she was like, okay. So she did that. I couldn't lock the door. I mean, I could, but it would just seem, a little too suspicious. So I didn't do that. I just left the door open. I was like, Father, just guard the door, whatever. So next, I went over there, test things out in his body, whatever, pinching and everything like that. And he wasn't really responsive like that. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right. I laid my hands on him and I started praying. First thing I did was rebuke death. Rebuke death that was on his life. Rebuke it. I was like, Satan, you can't have him. It's not his time right now. He's got to live and get this testimony about what the Father's about to do to him. Because before I left, I told my father before we left. So when everyone left, I was like, Dad, I said, should we go raise my dad up from the dead? He was like, go. When it remind me of, which is powerful, is the same thing when you see with, I just see the similarities with me and King David. I see them. I see it. Like, it's like, all right. So even though when they had came back, saying from doing what they was doing, like there was another crew that came in and pillaged and plunged them. Like it said that they came back from Zillag. And then it's like and the men was pissed because their wives, their kids, their stuff was all stolen. Because it was out with David, saying doing some other stuff. And it was mad. This is the time when all the men took up stones were ready to kill him. And David, like, hold up. You about to stone me. You about to kill me because your family whatnot. He was like, he went over, he encouraged himself in the Father and began to talk to the Father. He was like, look, all right, I know I got some people about to kill me and everything like that, but should I even pursue them? And will I overtake them? But I was like, yes, pursue them. He said, will I overtake them? He said, yes, you will overtake and recover all. So they was over to kill him. He's like, hey, look, hold up. Put them stones down. Better go get our stuff. I love it. Because like when that happened, as soon as that happened, watch this. The last time when Saul tried to do this, Saul got jacked up. Saul tried to do the job of Samuel and got jacked up. He was up there trying to, cut an animal. So I was like, Samuel was like, what are you doing? It's like, I was waiting on you. You was taking too long. So I just started to go ahead and offer to feast do the sacrifice myself. He says, you have messed up. Man, as soon as they took stuff from David, they was like, go give me the ephod. He had some privileges that Saul didn't have. Saul did like the same thing in a sense and got messed up. Lost the kingdom and everything. David come like, hand me the ephod. They go hand me the ephod, put it on. So he's one king, right? King, the priest. Just putting on a whole new clothes. It's powerful. And the father accepted it. He went up there and talked to the father like, all right, look. He's like, I don't need no prophet to come and talk to me right here. Nope. I have my connection. Give me the ephod. Saul tried to do that. Father's like, I don't know you. You need to have Samuel before you come and see me. It's powerful. Go look at it. You be like, dang, that's true. Samuel was up here with Saul. David could put on an ephod and the father receives him like Samuel. King and priest, king and prophet, all at one time. So, because he didn't say like, hey, go give me a priest and see if because you have to inquire if you're going to go after a war. You have to go ask. So a king will always have to go to the priest. Hey, I need you to inquire for me about the father. Could you ask him, can we go to war right now? David didn't have to do that.
He was king and prophet. So one side be like, I think we should go kill. But without doing it, it was the father in his council. So before he did something, hey, yeah, you know, some people have been messing up around here. I just want to know if we should go get them. And he would hear the father speak back to him, not through a prophet, but speak back to him. The father respected him as king and prophet, king and priest, literally. Because he was able to put the ephod, that should have messed him up. But he put the ephod on, and the father spoke to him with the ephod on. Shall I go over here and conquer? Can I catch up with them? Father was like, he told him, he's like, you're not only gonna catch up with them, but you're gonna overtake them, and you will recover all. And the father told him, go. After that, take the ephod off, put it back. All right, king's back. Let's go kill some people. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy. That is powerful. I mean, think about it. You'd be like, should we go look at this? Let's go get the scripture. Let's see Saul trying to do what David did. But remember how Saul was trying to get David to do what he did. Like, look, go put on my armor. They was like,
I don't need all this.
I ain't tested these things out, man. I ain't put none of this to the test. You gonna try to get me killed. I can't wear your armor. I can go with. He was like, boy, this is it. Like, yes, he like, man, he been fighting people for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Goliath is a warrior, so he's killed a lot of men. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be killing. You know what I'm saying? Then they was like, oh, so because you looking at me and I don't look like I'm the stature of him, who's been fighting a whole bunch of soldiers all of his life. Well, let me tell you a little something about me. There was a lion. Father gave me a lion. There was a bear. Father gave me a bear. There was a wolf. Father gave me the bear and the wolf. This uncircumcised Philistine will be just like one of those who the Father gave me. Meaning what? I didn't trust in my own strength. I didn't trust in me. My trust was in him. And he can defeat the very same thing that he created. Just like he created all those animals, this uncircumcised Philistine will be as one of those animals. Meaning what? There was no difference between him and a beast. They were seen the same. And he said, he said, this uncircumcised Philistines will be as one of them. The Father, he didn't put none of his trust in what he can do. He said, the Father will deliver him to me too. He trusted that. And the Father used something that seems to be foolish to confound the wise. He up looking at this boy like, you come at me with sticks and stones. You listen.
Feed you to the birds.
He said, come here, baby. I'll eat. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much like, you know how like Austin Powers, how you have Fat Bastard up there. How you doing, baby? Get in my belly. You know what I'm saying? Now, imagine Goliath just like that. Get in my belly. Look at that thing like you sent a baby at me. I feel offended. He was like, send a man out here to fight me. He is literally belittling King David's manhood. You sent a baby out here to fight me. A baby. He on milk, breast milk that is. He's still a little bit, he just came out the womb. He is dogging him. He was like, I thought Israel or Isolele had some soldiers, some warriors. I heard about y'all fight over here. This is your best offender? This is him? Your best offender. He was like, you know what, bruh? You might come at me with your sword and your spear, but I ain't come out here as myself. I come out here in the name of Yah. And I will defeat you in that same name.
And he literally shot his arrow with the name of Yah. It was literally, boom, he shot it and it hit him in the forehead. I don't need to kill you on the first strike. I just need to confuse you, drop you down to my size. Take your sword you came out to kill me with, come to your head as you dazed, and cut off your head. That's all the Father needed to do. I will use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Confuse them. Yes. David shot him straight in the forehead and straight up messed his nervous system up. He was like, lights out, unconscious. That's powerful. Goliath was looking, I'm going to kill you. David was like, I don't need to kill you. I want to first confound you. Boom. Forehead. Knock you dizzy. Knock you right in the forehead. You might be big, but you got a soft spot up here. You have a soft spot right between your eyes. Bam. That was it. He had no other words because his head was cut off. And what's this? Then David took his big head and buried it in the land. This will be the same place that the Messiah will be taken to and killed at. The place of the skull. That's where it came from. Goliath's head. So Goliath's head is literally in the land. He literally took his head and buried it. So his head will be literally the real telling of the city of David. A head is there. Now, excuse me, I have yet to hear them of the wannabes say that they're, say they're us, but they're not Bantus. Out of all the findings, they always find jewelry. They find plates, pottery, but I've never seen no one person. We found a head. Ouch. We just put some out there because they might be looking for a head now. Oh, we found a head. If y'all know, hear them say, like in the news today, in Jerusalem, they said they found a head. You know that they heard this live. They talk about the tribes. They talk about, oh, we found now Benjamin. First, they weren't even talking about Benjamin. It's been Jews for the whole entire 70 years. As soon as we start talking about, like, Jews only signify one thing. What's that? Judah. That's only one tribe. Like the whole world just think the whole tribe is just Judah. Y'all been saying y'all Judah the whole, that's it. Where's Benjamin? Where's all the rest of them? When we start saying that, they start having holes. They start having miraculous findings. We found the tribe of Benjamin. And you see what they looking Asians as hell. You be like, what? Yo, squinty eyes gonna be Benjamin. Squinty eyes. Squinty eyes became Benjamin. Where came from? Who? Benjamin.
It's a lot of washed here.
Man, that's Bazian. What is it? Asian. But it was like then they start coming out with all these other tribes. So far, they found, I think, what it's like 4 tribes. They're still looking for the rest of them. You have not heard. And then one of them like, well, we got all the 12 tribes now back in Israel. And no one even asked questions. No one's questions how many tribes they have. They don't say they have 9 tribes. People think they're like that is so true. Like, you have never heard them say they have 9 tribes. The Bible says there was supposed to be already 9 tribes already there in the land. Just saying.
Mm.
So if they come up with the other miraculous other tribes, you know they done heard this live right here too again. So there's some holes over there in that house. There's some holes in that house. There's some holes in a story. There's some holes all through their whole so-called history. There's some holes that cannot be filled up. And if people are not even looking at this, I watched the other day someone give their dissertation about the two witnesses. I wanted to throw the TV, but I did get something from them. One thing. But everything else, from a Christian perspective, he was talking about the so-called white people as the Jewish people. And it's still the same narrative that we've heard when we was in church. They had to receive their Messiah. Do you know that to go over there to so-called Israel, you have to renounce the name of Jesus. Renounce it. But that's really nothing. Because I'm at the show right now. There is nobody on this earth right now. People, once you learn about the truth, that's what it is. So at that time, it says that no one can call the Messiah, so-called Lord, without the Holy Spirit. Is the Messiah's name Jesus? It's not. So watch this. Not one person in the church has recognized the Messiah. If his name is not Jesus, but his name is Yeshua, that shows also that they don't have the Holy Spirit. Should we bring it on the screen? Let's do it. Let's oh, ouch.
Who is we praying to?
Oh. I'm hurt. I know that's that hit you in the face. In the face, son, in the face. You know what I'm saying? Says no one can call Jesus a curse, right? Who have the spirit. And it says no one can say that he is Yah or say that he is Lord or Master without the Spirit. Look, 1 Corinthians 12:3. Therefore, I inform you that no one who is speaking by the Spirit of Yah says the Messiah is accursed. And no one can say that the Messiah is what? Adonai, except by the Holy Spirit. Now, if these people are called on the name of Jesus and that's not his name, that means they have never confessed the Messiah's name, not even one time.
Right.
So how can they receive salvation? Ooh's hurt. I know.
Your car not valid.
Yeah, I'm asking questions. I need to know. How in the world can they call on the one they have not believed on? Yeah, this is starting to get a little too sticky right now. And can you imagine how many? Now watch this. It says because of their teaching, they're going to be thrown into tribulation. If his name is not Jesus, and we know that, and that's what the church recognizes, but they don't recognize Yeshua. And I'm about to bring something out to that too as well, which is so powerful. That, when you look at it, you'd be like, wait a minute, hold on, let's go look at King David and Saul, like I was showing while we got this up. Yep, Saul made a sacrifice.
Yep, here it is. This is the one right here. This is the one. Look what it says. Saul unlawful sacrifice. You see this? And Saul waited 7 days for the time appointed by Samuel. But Samuel did not come to Gilgal or Kilgal. And the troops began to they began to desert Saul. So he said, bring me the burnt offering and the peace offerings. And he offered up the burnt offering. Just as he finished offering the burnt offering, Samuel arrived and Saul went out to greet him. Let's see how Samuel took to his offering. Let's see what happened to him. Let's see what happens. Oh, I see the word rebuke. That sounds like correction. Sound like correction. Let me see. Notice it says unlawful was not received. Samuel rebuked Saul. And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of the offering, the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came and Saul went out to meet him that he might salute him. And Samuel said, what hast thou done? And Saul said, because I saw the people were scattered from me. See, it's about popularity. I'm willing to do anything to keep the people's attention. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the heart? And I gotta talk to somebody. Look what it says. Like the people, this moved me to do something else. Why? Because the people were leaving. Since my troops were leaving, I went ahead and did the unlawful thing and took your place. That's why it's called the people's choice right there. Not the father's choice, people's choice. All right. It said, Saul said, because I saw the people were scattered from me, because they're leaving me. I'm losing popularity. And that thou camest not within the days appointed, and that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Mishmash. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down. This is what he said, come down. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down. Ooh, ouch. Didn't say it would go up. Said it was come down. The Philistines will come. That's Palestinians. Palestinians will come down. I hope y'all getting that. Come down. If they're coming down, this cannot be the land. If they're coming down, they're coming down to the land, not going up to the. Did y'all get that? Palestinians, Philistines, which is Palestine, they were coming down to fight. Now, so look where they at right here. Over here in Israel, so-called Israel. It's not going up. Israel's, this will be what? This will be coming down. So this where they're at is in Palestine. This is not the promised land, as the scriptures have recorded, and now has even shown forth even that much more. Coming down. Right? So this is all coming down. All right, going back. All right. The other things will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto Yah. I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering. And Samuel said to Saul, thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of Yah, which he commanded you. He just broke a commandment. For now, watch this. This is where he loses the kingdom. Because he did an unlawful sacrifice. He stepped in an office that was not his to step into and lost everything. From now would the Father have established your kingdom upon Yisolele forever. But watch this. But now the Father shall not continue. Watch this. What he says. But now the kingdom, now your kingdom shall not continue. And the Father has sought. Watch this. At the moment when when Saul literally began to say and begin to offer them burnt offerings while he was doing that, Father already found himself another king. Can you imagine that? Right? Look at this. He about to make him, he about to mess up. Paul was like, don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, he did it. Okay. Well, right now I'm going through my list of names as he's offering up the sacrifices, trying to give them to the Father, burnt sacrifice. Father already chose another king. Like, yep, there he is right there. I'm going to give him a call. Right now, I'm going to give him a call. So now when Samuel shows up, he's not showing up with good tidings. He's going up to say, you've been replaced. Everything was
been. She said, something next time. I know something wrong. Samuel coming.
Yeah, you've been replaced.
There's something wrong.
And watch this. Father was replacing him when he didn't do what he told him to do. He said, kill everybody. Kill everybody. And he was like, I did what you asked me to do. He's like, then why do I hear the sound of bleeding sheep in my ear? So he was not following the Father to the T. He was like doing what he think the Father was like, all right, well, I'm going to do this, but I ain't going to do this. I'm going to do this, but I ain't going to do that. So then so watch this. So you ain't did what I told you to do, but now you want to show up in another person's position? I don't know you like that, bruh. I don't know you like that. I don't know you like that. That's what he said. Like, I don't know you like that for you be putting on a priest. That's not your position. You ain't even did what I told you to do the first thing. You disobedient trying to come before me. Do you understand? I said kill everybody. Everything. Mama, daddy, brother, cousin, sister, auntie, baby mama, cousin. All of them. Kill them all. And they animals. Burn it. Destroy them. Kill them. He gonna be like, you know what? I just kept the choices. The choices, lambs and goats. So we can give as a sacrifice to the Father. That's when you start getting into witchcraft. It's like, that's when you start saying obedience is better than sacrifice. Our people right now is always constantly want to offer a sacrifice instead of just giving complete obedience. That's what's wrong with us now. Literally. Going back to it. So he says, your kingdom shall not continue. The Father has sought him a man. Watch this. After his own heart. Watch this. Because remember, we just got through seeing what the heart of Saul was. It was after the people. Saul was a people pleaser. If the people like it, I'll do it. David was like, I don't care if the people like it or not. If the Father likes it, then so be it. If y'all don't like it, y'all can lump it. I don't care. He done danced up out of his clothes before. People done like, his wife was like, what is wrong with you? You gave him a nice little show. He was like, I was happy because we was bringing home the throne. And he's like, literally said, I would have did more. And then he said the woman that they was actually, the woman that his wife is like, the women that you up are trying to come against. He says, I bet you they loved it. And then the Father literally rebuked his wife for saying something to him because all he was trying to do was just trying to praise the Father, but she had something to say. So the Father literally cursed her womb because she spoke against David. This was not the same thing with Saul. Saul didn't have that heart for Yah. He had a heart for the people. Hey, the people were leaving. So I acted foolishly. I sinned because the people. But I was like, I don't need as a leader. I need someone who's going to follow me, do what I tell them to do, regardless of people like him or not. So he sought a man after his own heart, and the Father have commanded him, watch this, to be captain over his people.
because thou hast not kept that which the Father commanded you. And Samuel arose and got him up from Gilgal up to Gibeah of Benjamin, because this is literally from the seed of Benjamin. That's where Saul came from. And Saul numbered the people that was present with him about 600 men. So this is when he ended up losing the kingdom. And then he literally going to ask, you see how this is all, this didn't work out for him. This is the day when Saul lost, he lost the kingdom. He lost it. It was taken from him. So now let's go look at the occurrence with David. They was mad. I mean, Saul was mad at David because they was like, Saul's killed his thousands, but David has killed his tens of thousands. You know what I'm saying? So like, he was sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? Bring me the ephod. I'm just gonna put that in. There it is. Told you. I told you. It's right there. Look how the difference is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. See what happens here. What's happened? We gotta bring me the ephod up in this mug. On the third day, David and his men arrived in Ziklag. The Amalekites had raided the Negev, attacked Ziklag, and burnt it down. They had taken captive the women and all who were there, both young and old. They had not killed anyone, but had carried them off as they went on their way. When David and his men came to the city, they found it burnt down, and their wives and sons and daughters had taken captive. So David and the troops with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no strength left to weep. You know, maybe I would cry for you, right? You know what I'm saying? David's two wives, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel, had been taken captive as well. And David was greatly distressed because the people spoke of stoning him. We're going to kill you. Because the soul of every man grieved for his sons and daughters. But David found strength in the Father, his Yah. Then David said, watch this. He says to the priest, a priest is present. But what's what David does? Then David said to Abiathar, the priest, the son of Ahimelech, bring me the ephod. And so Abiathar, do you see the difference? That's the same thing as Samuel being there. Like, hey, give me the ephod. It's the same thing. So Abiathar brought it to him, and David inquired of Yah. The Father's about to receive this. Should I pursue these raiders? Will I overtake them? Pursue them. The Father replied, for you will surely overtake them and rescue the captives. It did not say like this. And afterwards, David lost his kingdom. But that's what happened to Saul.
Oh.
There is a difference. They are not on the same level. David pleased the Father. Saul pleased the people and lost the kingdom. Saul pleased the Father, and the kingdom was promised to him forever, him and his seed. And he still have it waiting for him, even though the seed messed up. The kingdom is still belonging to David. It's powerful because he pleased the Father. It's the difference. We can see like the same thing that I did here. One was met with 7 days. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lose your kingdom. You done lost it. And he gave it to David, the one who was, look at this. He gave it to the one who can come to him. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to replace you with the one you want to be in. You want to be able to do what David did here. He's going to have that right, but you don't have that right. It's the same thing. I mean, it's funny. Like I was thinking, like, man, maybe priest wasn't there or something. The priest was there.
Mhm.
It said Abiathar, and it made it there specifically. Abiathar, the priest. He told the priest, "Give me your ephod. I can get through faster than you can."
We ain't gotta wait for you. Just Candy.
Abiathar, the priest, is looking all pretty right there. It's I don't even need it. You give me a my prayer gonna go through because they needed a priest to go to war. Hey, let me inquire of the Father. Let me inquire of the Father. Could you inquire of the Father for me? They was like, what is he standing there for? Was Abiathar the priest? Therefore, when David can do both, like, look, all right, Norman can do this, but today I don't wipe my eyes out to where I can't cry no more. I need answers fast in a hurry. Give me an ephod. He put it on. Said what he needed to say. After it was over, here you go. It's powerful. That is hilarious. From king to priest in an instant. If I was like, why you here with the instant? Let's go on and show some people what the rapture really is. Okay, so people were like, oh my goodness, and we will be caught up in the air.
Disappear.
What is he saying? Let's go look at that real quick. What does it mean to be caught up in the air? Let's look at that up real quick. And this what is look at what it's saying. We who are alive will not prevent those who are dead. All right, let's go look. The return of, look at this, of Yah, right? The return of the Messiah. For since we believe that the Messiah died and rose again, we also believe that Yah will bring with the Messiah those who have fallen asleep in him. By the word of Yah, we declare to you that we who are alive and remain until the coming of Yah will by no means precede those who have fallen asleep. Mean what? Why's this? You need to understand what's about to be said here. Let's go back. 15. Let's get the insight of this. It's really powerful. All right. For this we say unto you by the word of Yah, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of Yah shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Messiah himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trump of Yah, and the dead in the Messiah shall rise first. Then we which are alive shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Messiah in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Messiah. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words. So, let me get this straight. Those who are dead are going to raise up. This is what they're saying. They're going to raise up and be caught into the air. What is he saying? This is like a parable. It's not saying truly the air. It's saying something else. Watch this. Revelations they shall reign with Christ for 1,000 years. But where they're gonna be reigning with the Messiah for 1,000 years at? So wait a minute, they're gonna get caught up straight up into the sky. So they're gonna go be tossed up into the sky. Watch this. How this is gonna be? It's gonna let's type in the word sky, and we're gonna look at the sky and see how that makes sense. So we're gonna get caught up to the sky right here. Just keep your head to the sky. So we're gonna get caught up in the sky right here, right? This is what they say. This is how Christianity teaches it. We're gonna get caught up in the sky. Watch this. Only to come back down to the earth. Do you see how that does that make sense to you? Just wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Don't laugh yet. I'm just asking questions, man, because the scripture is about this. Look at this. Here they show you the earth, right? This is not earth. Earth is dirt. Okay. That's what it means. To now be you're in the sky. Now you're in the sky, you're all met up in the sky to come back down to the dirt, which is the earth. Watch. Because in Revelations 20:6, look what it says. It's talking about the dead, right? See if this makes sense now. See, is Christianity makes sense on what the heck they just said, right? And how they teach this thing. Satan bound. Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven with the key to the abyss. Wait a minute, hold up. He only coming down to what you about to do? Holding in his hand a great chain. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent who was the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. And he threw him into the abyss, shut it and sealed it over him, so that he could not deceive the nations until 1,000 years was complete. After that, he must be released for a brief period of time. Then I saw the thrones, and those on them have been given authority to judge. And I saw the souls, watch this, hold up, of those who have been beheaded for their testimony of the Messiah and for the word of Yah, and those who had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received his mark on their foreheads or hands. And they watched this, and they came to life and reigned with the Messiah for 1,000 years. Where? In the sky? Hello? Did they reign with the Messiah in the sky? Because I don't see nowhere in the sky at, right? So if the devil is locked up for 1,000 years, why are they in the sky? Y'all understand now? It was caught up in the spirit. The sky is the spirit. The air is the spirit. They was caught up in the spirit. The rest of the dead did not come back to life until watch this, the 1,000 years were complete. Watch this. This is the first resurrection. That's what we just got through reading. The first resurrection. Those, watch this. Now see how that makes sense? And the dead in the Messiah shall rise first. Is that not the first resurrection? Unless there's 3 resurrections that we don't know about. Have you ever heard of the 3 resurrections? Maybe it's the 3rd resurrection we didn't know about. Because right here it says the first. For the Messiah himself shall descend from heaven with a shout and the voice of the archangel and with the trump of Yah, and the dead in the Messiah shall rise first. This is the first resurrection. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up in the spirit to meet the Father in the air. Watch, in the spirit. You're caught up in the spirit. And so shall we ever be with Yah. How are we going to be caught up in the sky? And that's it. When Revelations 20 right here is talking about something else. The beast is being bound at the same time that the dead in the Messiah is rising up. Unless there's multiple risings that we're not aware of. But it doesn't make sense. Does it make sense to you? Family, you there? Does it make sense to you?
Okay.
All right, so what's this? Look at this, the first resurrection. This is the first.
The dead in the Messiah shall rise first. This is the first resurrection. The ones what? Look what it says. It's capturing all things. It's capturing those who've been killed, been beheaded. So all those sources, this is after people have already taken the mark of the beast. This is after the mark of the beast. After it. And you've already been killed for your testimony of holding true to the testimony of the Messiah. You've been beheaded. It says right here, and I saw the souls of those who have been beheaded for the testimony of the Messiah and for the word of Yah, and those who had not worshipped the beast or its image and had not received his mark on their foreheads or hands, and they came to life. This is the millennial reign, because it says, and they reigned with the Messiah for 1,000 years. And the rest of the dead, watch this, did not come back to life until the 1,000 years was complete. That means Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all of them are raising up in this time. And it just got through saying, watch this, in the Thessalonians, where it gives it away. It says, those that we will not prevent them. Watch this. For if we believe that the Messiah died and rose again, even so them which are asleep in the Messiah will Yah bring with him. He's not gonna bring them with him. They're gonna bring us up from the dead. For this we say unto you by the word of Yah, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of Yah shall not prevent, shall not stop them with our what? Which are dead, which are asleep. That's what it's saying. See what it says right here? And with the trump of Yah, the dead, so Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all of them shall rise first. This is the first resurrection. And that's what Revelation is talking about right here. This is the first resurrection. Because right here, watch this. Blessed and holy are those who share in the first resurrection. Look, here it is. First, the dead in the Messiah shall rise first. This is the first resurrection. So they're both talking about the same thing. First resurrection. Because watch what it says next. The second death has no power over them, but they will be priests of Yah and of the Messiah, and will reign with him for what? 1,000 years. Where? In the sky? No. The word says that the meek shall inherit what? The sky? The meek shall inherit. Oh, it says the earth. Okay. So they're not caught up in the sky. They're caught up in the spirit.
Ain't the gate supposed to come down?
Right. It's just crazy, right? So it's like those who call down. Now watch this. What is happening on this day? It's the adoption. We wait for the adoption of Christ. That's what they're saying. That's what this is. Future glory. See, we know that the whole creation has been groaning together with the pains of childbirth until the present time. Not only that, but we ourselves, who are the first fruit of the Spirit, groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for our adoption as sons, the redemption of our bodies. So that's exactly what's taking place on that day, is the redemption of the people's bodies. And that's why it says what? It says, not all of us will sleep. Why? Because we will be changed in a twinkling of an eye. Watch this. We shall be changed. Should be around the same ballpark. In a twinkling of an eye. What that mean? You're going to put on immortality quickly. It's going to be like this. Like, so as soon as you blink your eye, meaning what? People are going to die while they're still blinking. Can you imagine that? You didn't die and came back within your blink. That's how it's going to change over like that. Twinkling of an eye. He says, not all of us will sleep. Mean what? Not all of us will be put to death, put to rest in the ground.
but we will be changed like that. So as the time when the dead is rising up, they are now immortal. No more death. That's how when the two witnesses die, that's it. The Messiah, he comes back to defend Jerusalem or Salama. He defends it. All right, here we go. Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed in an instant, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. See, they just got through saying the trump, right? Here's the last trump. Thessalonians, with the trump of Yah. Here's that trump again. Same trump going on. So we got two witnesses of a trump. It's the same trump. And what's happening to you? You're being changed in a twinkling of an eye. So when the devil is put in his place for 1,000 years, you will be changed over. At that time, you will be considered to be righteous, holy, set apart. It's over. It's over for you. You are literally, watch this, owned by Yah. Literally. Your position is sealed unless you do something stupid. It's powerful. And then after the millennial reign is over, two witnesses die. The enemy's released for a little bit. But when he tried to come over to destroy Jerusalem again, or Salama again, that's when the only begotten Son of Yah comes back with fire and brimstone and comes against every single person who's trying to come against the city. That's been rebuilt. Messiah left saying your house is desolate. He's not coming back until the house is built up again. Because if he's seen the place desolate when he left, it would be unbalanced to see the place desolate when he comes back. So it will be our job to fulfill the promise that he gave. He said Jerusalem, or Salama, will be built up. So when he comes back, he's coming back to defend the city that's been built. That ties in with scripture. The other stuff does not. If the Messiah says the place is already desolate, why would he come back to another desolate place? That doesn't make sense. When he could have built it up when he was there the first time. What will be the difference? You see what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense. In fact, David told the Messiah, he says what? He says, sit down on my right hand. He's told him to sit down, like sit down on my right hand until, watch this, until I make thy enemies thy footstool. No, we need to see who is being spoken to whom. You see what I'm saying? To understand what he means by you will not see me again until you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of Yah. Why? Because that's the one who's going to help build up the city. That's not going to be desolate no more. Watch this. A Psalm of David. Let's go look at it. A Psalm of David. Psalms 110. Let's go ahead and look at this a little bit. Just a little bit. Y'all mind if we look at this a little bit, do y'all? Okay. Look at this.
The Father said, watch this. So David is saying, giving account of what he sees. So he's literally saying, the Father said to who? The only begotten Son of Yah, sit at my right hand. So he's giving account of what he saw. He's like, so it's like the Father said to the Son, sit at my right hand. So what's the Son doing? Sitting. Until I do what? Until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. Wait a minute, hold up. Hold on. We need to see something. So that doesn't mean that Messiah comes down here and do the work. The work is going to be done for him. And then he comes back and receives everything else unto himself. Now, can anyone please tell me what Christianity is speaking? I'm serious. How does what they're teaching now line up to the scriptures? Anyone else who's talking like this, saying that the Messiah, the only begotten Son of Yah, is on his way back right now. How does that make sense when he says, until the earth is your, let's go put on the screen. If I was like, go find a footstool. We're going to get very disrespectful now. Let's go and get it. Let's go ahead and rub some mud in some faces now. So let's go get a footstool. Let's go get one. Let's go get a footstool. Oh, he said, until I make the earth. Look what the feet's doing right there. What the feet doing right there? What the, bro, family, what the feet doing right there? Huh? Oh, he's not there yet. He just got back off again. I said, all right, bro, what those feet doing right there? You kind of mute.
Sitting on the footstool,
What's it doing? Is it resting?
resting on the footstool.
So he said the Messiah's feet has got to be able to rest on the earth like that. He says, sit down until I make the earth a place of rest for your feet. Does it sound like the Messiah is going to be put to work before he's able to rest his feet on the earth according to the scripture? Look what it says. This would be literally El Shaddai or Yah, or as people say, Nazambi Yah, said to who? Yeshaya, the Messiah, right? His only begotten Son. Sit. So he commanded his Son to sit at his right hand. Now, if the Son says, I only do and say the things that my Father say, hold on now. So he ain't gonna do what people say do. I only do what I see and hear my Father do. He says, I do none of myself, right? So if the Father told him to sit, what's the Son gonna do? Is he gonna stand when the Father told him to sit? He gonna sit. So the Messiah replied, truly, I tell you, the Son can do nothing but by himself unless he sees the Father doing it. For whatever the Father does, the Son also does. Ooh, 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 ooh. So wherever the Father is doing, the Son is going to do too. He's going to follow suit. He's not going to do anything on his own. He is going to do what his Father say do. Period. So the Father says, sit down until it has an expiration date on it. The expiration date is until I make the earth one of peace. Isn't that powerful? It's powerful.
Yep.
Let me see. I only do what my Father say and do. I only say what my Father says. Let's look for the word right there. I only say what I hear my Father say. Look at this. So he's a whole witness of himself, just witnessing for the Father. I have not spoken on my own, but the Father who sent me has commanded me. Hold on. He just showed that he's obedient. Commanded me what to say and how to say it. So it sounds like the Messiah is bound to what the Father says and bound to what the Father does. Right here in Psalms. And there's another testimony about that as well, where the Messiah asks, how is he the son of David? When he says that David said that he saw the Creator say to his Messiah or his king, sit down on my right hand until I make the earth your footstool. Here it is. So now I ask a question. Is the earth the footstool for Yeshua yet?
Yeah.
Now watch what he says about David. Until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet, a place of rest, right? Now the Father extends, watch this. He's talking about David. The Father extends your mighty scepter from Zion. Rule in the midst of your enemies. Look at this. Rule in the midst of your enemies. So the Father's going to be in the midst of the enemies ruling. Your people shall be willing on your day of battle, arrayed in holy splendor from the womb of the dawn. To you belongs the dew of your youth. The Father has sworn and will not change his mind. Watch this. This is to David. You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. Watch this. The Father is at your right. It says, watch this. The Messiah is at your right hand. Do you see this? This could not be the Father. He says the Lord is at your right hand. Now watch this. Let's go get that testimony. I foresaw the Lord always, right? Why? Because the Messiah is at his right hand. So it's letting you know he's talking about David. David is a priest after the order of Melchizedek. The church has never said that. In fact, the Hebrew Israelites has never said that. They always said this is the only begotten son of Yah. No, it's not. It's talking about David. Now watch this. The presence of Yah, I will bless Yah who counseled me. This is David. Even at night, my conscience instructs me. So while he's sleeping, the Father's giving him instruction, right? I have set the Messiah always before me because he is at my right hand. I will not be shaken. Come on now. Come on now. David says about him, I saw the Messiah always before me because he's at my right hand. I will not be shaken. Now let's go back to it. The Messiah is at your right hand. Do you see this right here? Does that make sense? That's David talking. That's the Father saying to David. The Father is speaking to David, saying that the Messiah is at his right hand, instructing David to make the earth his footstool. Do you understand now?
Yep.
Watch what he tells of David. He will crush kings in the day of his wrath. He will judge the nations, heaping up the dead. He will crush the leaders far and wide. He will drink from the brook by the road. Therefore, he will lift up his head. Mm. Mm.
Hmm. He will crush kings.
Yes, crush kings in the day of his wrath.
He will
You are,
crush them far and wide.
yes, far and wide. It's everywhere. That's powerful. You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek.
Sound like the line coming from that thick.
Coming out of it, baby. Coming out of it. This is powerful. So, like, this is powerful. It said, for David himself says in the book of Psalms, the Messiah, the Father said to my Messiah, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. Look at this. Now let's go get the other scripture. You will never, never, no, 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 never. He telling him right there, look, your house is desolate. He's like, look, this, I ain't coming back until it's fixed. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said to him. That's what he said. It's almost like I told you to clean up your room and don't let me come back and this room is still messed up because there's gonna be some trouble. Behold, your house is forsaken. And I tell you, watch this. Look what he just telling. People don't even get the parable. What he's saying, and he's like, your house is dirty. And I ain't coming back to a dirty house. When I come back, this place is gonna be made a house of peace. Behold, your house is forsaken. And I tell you, you will not see me until you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of Yah. Why? Because he's going to be sent to fix the mess. I ain't coming back till you get the janitor. That's what he said to them. He said, number one, your house stank. It's desolate. You ain't got nothing in your refrigerator. I ain't got nothing here to eat. When I come back, you better have some food in the refrigerator. But that ain't gonna happen until you say, blessed is your leader who has been sent from me. I'm gonna send you a leader in my name. And he has been anointed to fix up this place. He knows what I want and what I desire because he's after my own heart. All right. After that's done, he's gonna come up here and make this whole place. He's gonna chip shape this place up here. It's gonna look beautiful. The nation's gonna be bowing down before me and everything like that. That's when I'm coming back. It's powerful. Look, he did not say I'm coming back and I'm gonna be warned. He said, when I come back, it's gonna be at a time of peace. Time when I can stretch my feet out. Let me stretch my feet out on your couch. Put my feet up on the foot. I mean, when you think now, what I want y'all to understand that. Imagine you coming home and you tired. You're like, man, wearing that footstool. What is a footstool for? To put your feet on and rest. If you're putting your feet up on a footstool, how you gonna be ready to? That will make sense no more. Look at that. It's powerful right there. I ain't never seen no one put their feet on a footstool so they can get ready to draw their sword out and go put a sword out real quick so I can go cut some people. That's all been done. These people who supposed to be cut has been cut. So now I can just
Relaxation.
some R&R. My daddy told me to go ahead and sit on down here till the earth has been made one of peace. You know what that means? When the enemy has been put away and the dead and the Messiah come up, and they come up to do what? They're going to come up helping. They're going to help build up the kingdom. Hey, go get that over there. The nations and everything else that's been causing them to hate us and the haters can't hate no more. They be like, we forgot what we was hating y'all. We don't even know why we was hating on y'all so much. Hey, give us the gold. Anything you want, whatever you want. Here. Satan is no longer fighting anything. He has no power. He has been bound for 1,000 years. So what we need to build what we need to build is gonna be there for us. All right, so we gonna need all the gold back over here. Yes, and all the stuff y'all done stole from us. I need y'all over to get that and bring that back home. In fact, every single thing y'all ever taken from us, y'all need to give it back to us and pay us with interest. For the years we've been gone, the years y'all done had it, so that y'all been, since it's not y'all's, and y'all done borrowed it for a long time, there's a lot of interest on that.
There's been a long written fee on that.
Exactly. Watch this. Watch this. You know how your credit
Been late
report
on payments.
is all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like your credit report, like this been on your credit report for like 480 or 90 years. Charged with interest for every item and every person you ever took from America has an interest on them. They was not yours to take. Y'all took personal property. I need you to restore them back immediately with the right amount of money for each person, for each item. And ain't gonna be able to, people want to fight. They can't fight. They gonna be like, anything you want, just here you go. Just why is that? Let me show you why. Do you know the Father said, ask me for the nations and I'll give it to you? Just ask. Ask me for the nations. Look at this. And I'll give it to you. Just in Psalms 2. Like what? Just ask. Like they're your toy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, ooh, can I have it? You know what I'm saying? The triumphant Messiah. Why do the nations rage? Look at this. The kings of the earth take their stand. We just got through seeing how he said he will chew out kings. We just got through seeing that. And you know, saying in the Psalms, we just got through seeing that. Now we see who it is. The kings of the earth take their stand, and the rulers to gather together against, you know, and then they're gathering against the Messiah, right? And against his anointed one. Look, the anointed one is the king against the creator and his king and his anointed one. Let us break their chains and cast away their cords. The one enthroned in heaven laughs. Remember, he's sitting down to the earth as his footstool. Right? The Messiah taunts them, and then he rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his fury. I have installed my king on Zion, upon my holy mountain. Watch what it said about I've extended the scepter of Zion, right? We just got through saying that, right? I've extended the scepter of Zion. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Where is it at? Yeah. Rule. Look, the Father extends your mighty scepter from Zion. Rule in the midst of your enemies. Here it is. The enemies is upset. They pissed. The kings of the earth take their stand and the rulers gather together. Look, this is the enemies against. Why? It's against. That means they're your enemies against the Father and King David. Let us break their chains and cast away their cords. The one enthroned in heaven laughs, and the Father taunts them. Then he rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his fury. I have installed my king on Zion, the extended scepter, upon my holy mountain. Now, is the holy mountain, is that in the sky, bro? Is that in the sky? Because it said we would be caught up in the air. It's not caught up in the air? Okay. All right. Sounds like we on the earth, like on a mountain. We on the earth. Is there a sky in the mountain? I mean, is there a mountain in the sky?
I ain't think so.
I have never seen that. The floating mountain in the sky. I've never seen that. I will proclaim the decree spoken to me by the Father. You are my son. This is the king saying that the Father said to him a long time ago that he was his son. Today I've become your father. Ask me. Watch this. Ask me. So as the son, the inheritance is what? Just ask. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance. Do you see that? He
Yeah.
will give, he gonna give them the nations just by asking. The ends of the earth, your possession. Then he tells them what's going to happen to them when they go to, you will break them with an iron scepter. You will shatter them like pottery. It's powerful. Now,
Be broke.
and this part right here is powerful. All right, let's bring it out. So I was sitting in church one day, right? I want people to get the correlation of this, right? My name was changed before I would even know it was changed. Okay. So October 7th, 1997 took place. And I saw the Messiah, fulfilling scripture that David said, I foresaw the Messiah, for he's always on my right hand, that I shall not be moved. The Messiah says, the one who loves me, who loves my Father, I will manifest myself to him. October 7, 1997 is the day that the Messiah manifests himself to me. Right after that, watch this. OBJC was born, not before. Now, with OBJC, every time I were right, we'll put OBJC on the paper. I took on the name. Watch this. I love David. David was my favorite character because mainly, we had the same issues. So I love David. I was like, but I didn't want to take anything away from David. So I said, I'm little David. Now, little David is like a branch off of David. So you have the whole thing right here, David. But if you are little, you are a little branch. You're branching off of him. I didn't want to take anything from him, but didn't even know that the word little is like branch, a sprout. It said a sprout. I will raise unto David a righteous branch. Little David is literally a branch from him. So I have that name for when I write. So when I would do things, I was like, all right, name's Little David. Then moving on forward, I'm sitting in church. Pastor preaching. I could see him, just like I see you. Then all of a sudden, I could not see him no more. This would be literally in 97 or 98 when this would take place. Okay. He's gone. I'll wait for him to come back because I know. I'm trying to get people to understand some things. You back? There we go. All right. So when I'm sitting in church and I'm listening to the pastor preach, and it's powerful, right? And all of a sudden, as I'm seeing him, I can't see him no more. Like I'm literally taken. I'm sitting right in the chair, but I cannot see him no longer in the front. I can't see him on the side, no on the side of me. But I'm just seeing just this vision. And this vision is a person who starts off from the seashore, and he's walking forward. This is not a woman. This is a vision of a man. And this man is Bantu. He's black. There's no white skin on him at all. He is black, right? And so As he's walking from the seashore, he goes to the water. As he's walking towards the water, I'm like, okay, cool. He's at this ankle. After a while, I don't see him just swimming, but he's still just walking straight. And I'm like, this is kind of strange. And I was like, did you bring me here to witness a suicide? Am I supposed to yell out to him, don't do it? I mean, what is this? Because he's just walking. So the water's now up to his chest. He is still walking. No swimming, just walking. Next you know, water came up to his neck. Like he's still walking, like what is this? The water went over his head for just a little bit. And as soon as the water, I was like, that's it. Like but underneath the water, I could see him still walking. Like the water didn't have no effect on him. He's still walking. And the hand grabs him out the water. And I'm like, man, that was it for him. Hand opened up and he drops into lava. I'm like, oh, that's it. That is it. It's a wrap for him, right? And I'm looking at his feet. I was like, I don't care how much you walking. I'm like, you about to burn. You about to be like, oh, I'm melting like the wicked witch of the east, or the west. And so I'm looking, I'm like, it's taking a little time for him to burn. What I'm saying? I thought he was just gonna melt, it's like some chocolate and some lava. He's walking on the lava. So I look up in the sky inside the vision. I hear the Father say, look at his feet. So I'll go back and look at his feet again. And I start to notice each time he walks on the lava, whatnot, it just drips off his feet. Like there's no sticking, no catching on fire. It's like him walking in water, but it's lava. It's not sticking to him. It's not burning to him. Nothing is catching him on fire. I'm like, this is strange. He should have melted by now. Then I hear the Father say, when you go through the water, I'll be with you. When you go through the fire, I'll be with you. Then he writes in the sky, Isaiah 43, verse 2. After that, everything dissipates. I can see the pastor again, see the person on the side of me, this person on this side of me. I'm like, okay, I want to go home. As soon as the message is over, I want to go home. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hold your hand. I want to go home. I need to check some things. All right. So then when I finally, got to the house, all praises. My grandma was like, hey, baby, how you doing? I was like, how you doing, grandma? I don't really want to talk to her like that. I just say, hey, came to the room, close the door. I need to be by myself. I need to see some things. And while I'm there, I'm like, okay, look, if what I saw today is accurate, then what I saw today should be here. We'll go right here. And then I'm gonna ask a question afterwards. And it's gonna be not really a deep question, but it's gonna be something simple that we can actually all take from here. Right? It's a testimony that's being seen in another light now than what I've ever seen it. Right? Let me see. Close some of these out because some of these can be weary or jury. Let's start slowing things down. Good thing that hasn't happened yet. But we know how this can be sometimes. All right, so let's put in Isaiah 43. So everyone in the world can see it. Isaiah 43, verse 2. We're going to get a different perspective of it today, right? Very different perspective. As things grow, we start to get a better understanding of some things. By the fear of Yah, it will increase, right? So look what it is right there. Exactly what I saw, right? When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not burn. The flames will not set you ablaze. And that's exactly what I saw, right? Neither shall the fire kindle upon you. Now, since that says Isaiah 43, verse 2, Father would say some things to me in 2019. And it would be words like this. You're Isaiah. I was like, what? He was like, why you think I showed you Isaiah 43, verse 2? I was like, that was just some guy who was just in that vision that you're showing me going through the water and the fire. Father yells at me and says, that wasn't no guy. That wasn't just anybody. He says, that was you. That he said, I said to you, when you go through the water, I'll be with you. When you go through the fire, I'll be with you. So that vision was given to me in 1997 or 98. And the Father showed me Isaiah 43, verse 2, and was that to the exact T. And the Father said, when you go through the water, when you go through the fire, Isaiah literally is the name of Yeshaya. That means in the year of 97, 98, the Father changed my name to Yeshaya. What do you think, bro? I don't know if your screen froze or not.
I'm I'm still here.
Now, many people have heard me say this testimony and be like, man, what? And then when they hear it now lined up with 2019, Father says, that wasn't, and they can go back and listen to the testimony before, and be like, they'll say, like, yeah, he did say that. You know what I'm saying? He said that, like, the Father said that, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't just any person, that was you. And then he reminds me, said, that's why I said, when he first gave it to me, he said, when you, remember when it said before it dissipated, he said, when you go through the water, I'll be with you. When you go through the fire, I'll be with you. The book this is found in is in Isaiah 43, verse 2. And if he says, this is you going through the water and you going through the fire, and it's in the book of Isaiah, he has given me the name Isaiah. That means literally hands down, he has given me that name Isaiah over 20 something years ago. Do you hear that?
Huh?
Over 20 something years ago, the Father gave me the name Yeshaya, which is Isaiah. And I done told that testimony so many times and had no clue. And it's been that way for a while. And I wouldn't even know it. Isaiah 43, verse 2, just like we saw. Y'all have heard this story. People go back and listen. Like, I did hear him say that. He said, when you go through the water, you, Father was already naming me Isaiah. He's naming me name Yeshaya. The Yah is salvation. And then what he said about OBJC in 2008, Mind blowing. Because I cried to him about it. I was like, Father, give this to T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Joyce Meyer. They can do so much with it. I'm unholy. I'm unworthy. According to Christianity standards, like I don't measure up, you know. And I'm up here crying with tears, like, please just take it away from me. Give it to somebody else, Father, who deserves it. They can do so much more. They're so much holier than me, Father. Just take it. This deserves to go far. But I was like, it's not the fact I couldn't give it to them. He said, I chose to give it to you. And he said, son, he's like, think about it. He said, people die. He said, imagine, because he's going to reach me with the understanding that I have. He's like, he said, if a person dies and goes to heaven, it's okay. He said, what are they? He's like, if they die in me and go to heaven, he said, if they die in me and go to heaven, what are they? I said, they're owned by Jesus Christ. He said, literally. He said, OBJC is a prophecy, a future prophecy that is soon to come. So, now we see is what? It's OBYU. Owned by Yah. Future prophecy. Which literally, he says you could take everything from the beginning of time where the Father had created that was his, all the way to the end of time, and place it up under one thing, owned by Jesus Christ, owned by Yah. I was like, wow. He says OBJC is not to be placed under anything, but it's to be over everything, meaning what is the umbrella where everything else comes from under. Literally. We're going to play Man of Yah because I heard Father like, play Man of God. Play it. Let them hear it. Let's do it. You okay, bro? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You sound lively. Look at you, man. I love that right there, man. The Crohn's disease thing and the Father done healed your body. You ain't taking no more medications. I mean, like, man, you have no idea how that would be a beautiful witness for those who are suffering with stuff like that. And see that the Father really do heal. God's what people think they know, what the Father's doing. All right, let me see. Let's do a Man of Yah. Here it is. Okay.
A man may fall 7 times, but he will rise again because of the Lord's righteous right hand. Yeah, like a tiny grain of mustard seed in the ground. My face started off small, but it's pretty big now. Going through the temptations, I learned to stand my ground. Wading through the obstacles to try to hold me down. I wore a frown, even though God gave me life. My vision cloudy until God gave me light. Revelation surrounds me, I can see my pathway. Now every breath that I take, there's a smile on my face. I run the race of faith, only winners endure. Because amazing grace, Jesus' blood is so pure. For those with HIV, Jesus' blood is the cure. And if you have a disease, Jesus' blood is the cure. Yeah, we all lose it and wanna give up. Just keep on moving, don't ever get stuck. Submit yourself to God, for God is enough. When the rough gets going, the going gets tough. Yeah, I'm not my own, I was bought with the price.
Cause I'm a man of God.
He is ready to win.
Cause I'm a man of God.
I'm not my own, I was bought with the price.
Cause I'm a man of God. Cause I'm a man of God.
He is ready to stand.
Whatever. Little David, what's going on? Where I don't want me to have nothing nice.